Hi, welcome to Home Farm. Today we're reviewing the CX Plus and Sport wireless headphones from Sennheiser. So those of you that have been to our channel before will know that we do reviews, we do some gardening stuff, we do some smart home tech. And Sennheiser reached out to us to see whether we wanted to be part of their ambassador program. We accepted. And as part of that, they actually sent us some headphones to try out.
I would just say though that we accepted very, very willingly. The reason why is because we had actually purchased a Sennheiser microphone, which is the one that you're listening to us on right now. And that was the first Sennheiser product that we have ever purchased. And we have been incredibly impressed with this microphone. That we use it for vlogging and we use it outdoors, indoors. It has like a wind muff thingy on it. So I won't go into too much detail because that's kind of a video in itself. But because we were so incredibly impressed by this, when they reached out to us and said, hey, do you guys want to join our
Ambassador program.
We were like, yes, please.
So you got the CX Plus headphones.
Yeah.
I got the sports ones, but there are some small differences that actually differentiate it from just being a normal headphone versus the sports one.
Yeah, I was basically using wired headphones, which I have probably had for, I don't know, I kind of just say 5 years, but honestly, it could be
longer than that.
Could be like 7 or 8 years. One of them stopped working at least 4 years ago, and so I've only been listening to one headphone and still have the annoying spaghetti junction of cable that goes to the device. I was really excited because I was like, yes, I need some new headphones because I don't have a pair that work. And also I really would like to try it wireless because I think it's going to be a bit of a game changer with regards to actually just being able to continue to move around and not getting caught up in cables, which I do a lot. I think that over the years, because of the fact that we've traveled a lot and we've kind of been quite mobile with regards to working, we've always kind of had a necessity to have either like a headphone or be able to actually listen to something somewhere. So we've always kind of had an interest in good quality sound and headphones. Also with regards to the speakers in our house, we really are quite particular about what kind of speakers we have in our house. We both kind of like the same richness and sound quality. And I think that that's really important to say that, because I think that if you have different preferences of sound, then there's different brands you are gonna prefer.
And it's very difficult for us to show you what the actual headphones sound like.
Yeah.
So the only way we can do that is to try and draw some sort of parallel between a speaker versus the kind of sound that we get from these.
Yeah, so I think with regards to sound quality, for example, we both don't really like Sonos as a speaker. We find that to be quite trebly and quite tinny and quite kind of, you know, empty as a sound. We both absolutely love Bose speakers. That's the speakers that we have in our house. And we also have the Apple HomePod as well. And that is a beautiful, rich, deep sound. You like bass. And I like bass too, but I also still like to be able to hear the clarity of the sound. So I like to be able to still hear all of the different instruments. So I don't really kind of like the bass to be so overwhelming that all you get is that reverb. I like to still be able to hear all the notes. So I think headphones are really, or even speakers, are a really tricky thing to purchase online, because unless you've physically gone into a shop and actually heard that particular headphone, you don't really know what you're getting and you're not really sure what it's going to sound like.
So before I actually get into the sound, setting up the headphones is actually quite straightforward. You basically create an account, you sync them to your device, you download an app. We've both got iPhones, so we basically downloaded the Sennheiser app onto the iPhone. It detected the headphones really quickly. And then what's really handy is that the more devices that you actually have, you just pair your headphones with that device. So for example, I've got an iPhone, iPad, and a MacBook Pro. I've connected that to all of those, and I can actually use the app to select which device I actually want to listen to. So if I've got the MacBook Pro, the iPad, and the iPhone in the room, I basically select which device I want to pair those with, and then that's the device that I actually use to play the music that I can listen to.
Yeah, I personally found that my connection or connecting to my MacBook Pro was insanely quick and fast and easy. I literally put the headphones in, went to my Bluetooth settings, it popped up, press connect, done.
Then what the app does is that it actually allows you to create a custom profile, and that means that you can select the amount of treble, the amount of bass, and the actual mixture of sound that you actually want.
Yeah.
I set that up to the way that I like it, so I ramped my bass up quite high up. I didn't go all the way because it was actually too bassy, so I went about 3/4 of the way up the bar. I then played around with the treble to get the kind of quality of sound that I like to have.
For me, I just kind of stuck with, you just have an equalizer setting in the app, and you can just click on the equalizer and then you can just drop down and select the presets. So there's a preset for rock, for pop, for classical. I like the classical setting, it's quite good for me. I listen to a whole mixture of different types of music, typically kind of jazz, bossa nova, classical, that kind of thing. So I felt that the classical preset was really good for those kind of musics. And I thought it was just a really nice, quick way of being able to select what you want.
So one of the big differences between the Sport and the CX Plus is that this one comes with 2 modes. You can have focus or aware. And because it's a sports headphone, it basically means that if you're in the gym, for example, you don't want to have all the ambient noise affecting your workout, you basically go into focus mode. You've got to change the little silicone attachment that goes onto the actual earphone itself. Then you change the app to focus, and that completely blocks all noise out. If, for example, you're working out outdoors, so maybe you're running or cycling, and you have to be a little bit more aware about what's happening around you, again, you switch your little silicone piece to the aware one, change the app to aware, and that basically allows a lot more sound to come through. So if there are cars or anything that is potentially dangerous to you during your workout, you'll be able to hear them.
Yeah, whereas I have ANC and transparent hearing. Basically, I found that there's kind of like 2 touches. So one touch basically kind of makes it more kind of noise cancelling, so I can't really hear too much of what else is happening. And the other one kind of does like this weird kind of white noise sound. It's like a shh. That means that I can actually hear more around me. It's a bit weird, but I actually find that's just great for me if I want to be in the kitchen and I want to be working, listening to a podcast, but I still want to hear if Miles walks into the room and speaks to me, that kind of thing, then that's great. That's plenty. Just to have those 2 different settings is more than enough. I've got to say that also the headphones come with their own charging case, and it's really very lovely. It feels quite weighty. It's not going to get lost anywhere. It's really nice that it's kind of magnetized. As soon as you put your earbud towards that charging case, it just clicks in. There's something very satisfying, isn't there, about when you get close and it goes click, and then you're like, yeah, that's nice. And then you kind of flip the lid closed and it's like, yeah, they're just back in their home. I think I like the fact that they're black, they slick, they kind of disappear. You don't really notice them in your ear as much.
The battery life's great. The sports one gives you about 9 hours of listening time. I think the CX Plus is 8 hours. It takes about 90 minutes to recharge fully. So if you are conscious of your battery usage, it is a matter of just, listening to it throughout the day, charging them overnight.
Then it also says ergonomically designed earbuds in their smallest form factor. I did change my little silicone things out because they came with medium on it, and I actually swapped them out for the small, and I've actually found it to be more comfortable. Generally speaking, they are a little bit big in the ear. it's not that they're uncomfortable to put in. When you put them in, it feels totally fine. It does kind of press a little bit on this bit. And after like an hour or 2 hours of wearing, it's not that I want to take them out because they're uncomfortable, but I find myself, and it's only on this ear, not on my right ear, so that's weird. But I feel like I'm just twisting it a bit to get it kind of a bit more comfortable. I'm still very happy to listen to them.
My experience wasn't too dissimilar to yours. The sports one is a little bit bigger than the CX Plus. So when you actually put it in your ear, as you said, initially for the first hour, it's actually quite comfortable. After that, it starts to press a little bit. And what makes the sports an even snugger fit is that it comes with this little rubber fin or silicone fin that actually goes over the headphones. So when you've actually got it in your ear, it almost hooks into your ear, and that's there purely for when you're actually working out, so that the headphone stays very secure. And that's worked really well. So the exercise that I've done, for example, yoga, if you get into a position and your head's like this, at no point in time does it feel like that headphone's going to pop out. They are very secure. They do fit very snugly. But after about an hour and a half, it does start to press a little bit against the ear, but it is actually quite easy to just take them out and give your ear a bit of rest and then pop them back in.
I would just say on that point, if you're considering between that and the sports, this one, you can move around quite a lot and it wasn't going to go anywhere for me. I felt like I could very happily, I could easily walk around, I could easily get laundry out of the machine and do all those kind of things. I think that if you're running or you're on rough terrain or you're cycling somewhere on rough terrain and you do have that movement, I think that potentially these might become dislodged a little bit. So I think that's worth considering if you are going to be doing those kind of movements. But if you're just doing kind of normal movements with regards to just kind of walking somewhere, bending over, or lifting something into the car or anything like that, then these are absolutely fine and they feel quite stable.
The actual functionality of the headphones is also super customizable, so you can change the little touch commands to whatever you want to do. At the moment, if you just press and hold your right ear, it gets the volume up. If you press and hold the left one, it brings the volume down. But if you don't want to do that and you want to have different functions for all of those, you can change all of those within the app. So both the CX Plus and the Sport are splash resistant, which means that you can get a little bit of water on them, but you can't go swimming in them. The Sports are also sweat resistant, which makes sense because you're potentially working out in them. But you don't go swimming, don't take them into a sauna, don't take them somewhere that's really wet because it could potentially damage them.
Yeah, just because it says sports, don't be diving into the nearest pool.
So all in all, I've been really impressed with the Sport headphones. They've been very comfortable when I've been working out. The sound quality is amazing. And the actual build quality is also great.
Yeah, I think without doubt, Sennheiser are right up there. They top of their game. They're a really good company. The products they produce are incredibly good quality. They are really passionate about sound and what they do. And I just think that you just can't go wrong. I mean, the fact that our Sennheiser microphone is incredible. And now we've tried these two different headphones and the sound is absolutely gorgeous in both of them. I think that this is just one of those companies that you just absolutely know what you're going to buy is going to be really good, is going to last you years, and is just going to be the best in its category. So I would definitely have no hesitation in buying these, especially not as a gift or something for someone, very lovely, or potentially investing ourselves in more Sennheiser equipment. We would definitely do it.
I think that the actual price point for both of these headphones is really excellent. So they're basically mid-range type of headphones. So in terms of bang for your buck that you're getting from these headphones, it's really excellent.
And especially if you get them on sale. If you can get them over Black Friday, if you can get anything Sennheiser on a Black Friday, you just know it's going to be a winner pretty much.
That's a good point, actually. And I actually have seen their products go on sale quite regularly. So if you do want to get one of their products, leave it in your Amazon basket and the chances of it going on sale is pretty good.
So overall, we would definitely highly recommend both of these headphones. And we would be entirely honest with you, if we weren't impressed or we thought that something had gone a bit awry or a bit dodgy or the microphone had suddenly packed up and these were a bit iffy, then we would genuinely pull out of the ambassador program. But we just are really, really pleased. Everything's working really well. Everything feels really durable, really good quality. And I just think that they're just one of those companies, aren't they? So I hope you found this video useful and interesting. If you did, please, please, please give us a thumbs up. We really need thumbs ups and we really need followers. So if you would like to also subscribe to our channel, we'd be really grateful. It will also give you the heads up on any future product reviews that we've got coming, which we will. We've got a lot of gardening stuff coming up, a lot of tech, different things happening, bubbling away in the background. So please stay tuned for those. And if you're interested in seeing more of our personal life and what we get up to in between product reviews, then check out our vlogs. We'll link them up above.
Thanks for watching and we'll see you in our next video.